I've got some big news. Hello and welcome to the third episode of TARDIS TV. Now, evidently you may have seen the title. Well, you must have seen the title. I have some big news, some very exciting news concerning the TARDIS console build. Now, the camera is currently sitting on the console itself. You're seeing the wall adjacent to it. It's quite a nice background anyway. It's got a bunch of the signed autographs. So anyway, big news, big exciting news. It's a key component, I believe, to any console build. Now, obviously, if you're a classic Doctor Who fan, you will know it as the central column, or if you are the more modern Whovian, then you will know it as the time rotor. The reason I say one and the other is because it has always been referred to as the central column. However, it is also called the time rotor by a lot of people. But the point is, back in a William Hartnell story, the Doctor points out a control on the TARDIS and says that is the time rotor. We will never know. Personally, I don't think the central column was ever intended to be called the time rotor, because it doesn't really rotate, it just goes up and down. I mean, some of the earlier models did, but that's something else altogether. The motor to drive the central column, or time rotor, I've figured out what I'm going to be using. Now, a lot of people will use, anyway, is window wiper motors. The reason being is they are easy to power. You know, they just take 12 volts. They have a nice gear mechanism, so they're slow, have a lot of torque, and they can take the weight. Also, they have a lever on it, so they already have a cam built into it in order to make it go up and down, because of course they needed to make the window wipers do that. It's a visual. I recently was commissioned at work to do a project of automation, so a show I was working on, well, I wasn't really working on, but just asked to be involved. We need a statue of a dog to, at the very end of the show, move its head like that. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, that's 03 Chaz, because 3 is a magic number. That's 03 Chaz. You can follow me on Instagram. You will have known that, whereby actually I made a control box for the automation. You had a remote, and you pressed the button and it moved the head. In that, I used a geared DC motor, and payment for that construction, because I wasn't being paid for the job, I was more or less doing a favour for someone. Sort of a payment for it will be all of the electronics will be given back to me, and I'll find some use for them. And also, I'll be given the motor, which is brilliant. I don't know what the motor is from, or whether it did have any original intended purpose, but it is a 12 to 24 volt, which is perfect, DC motor with a really nice geared mechanism. It really does have some torque to it, because I gave it a 9 volt battery, and I tried to resist it using my hand, just to see if I could stop it turning, and I couldn't. So it obviously will be able to lift a load. Obviously I'm going to have to build a cam, because it doesn't have a cam built into it. So for anyone who doesn't know what a cam is, essentially it's when you have a disc. There you go. So here's I don't know, one of the ones for you put your CDs on. Yeah. So anyhow, the motor will be placed right in the middle of a disc right here, so it will make the disc turn like a wheel. And then on the other side of the wheel, you will drill a hole and attach some sort of rod that will go from there. So as it turns, the rod goes down, because it's now down here, and then it goes up, and then down. You then, on top of that rod, drill a hole in that, attach another rod so that there's a joint, and then as it turns in the fixed position, you can then add a base at the top of the top rod, so it's guided and makes anything on the top platform move up and down. Another visual I drew. That's the motor and the ring, and then there's a platform that can go up and down. Yeah. Generally though, that's this video done. It's just a little update to say that this is what's happening. With the TARDIS though, in general, one of my close friends, Sam from So Studios, he has a YouTube channel. If you go subscribe to him, there will be a little link at the end of this video. We have worked on a recreation of one of my favourite scenes from Doctor Who, using the TARDIS console. We essentially turned the Soul Room into a studio. Because I work in the stage lighting industry, we brought some of that in. He brought some of his stage lights in, and some of his photography equipment and all that jazz, and videography. I don't know what that is. But anyway, we filmed that on his awesome camera. Generally, I think it looks fantastic. Even though the TARDIS is nowhere near finished, it looks brilliant on camera, and I'm dead proud of them. That's one thing I can say. It's nowhere near finished yet, but if you look on Instagram, you can see a sneak preview at 03Chaz. That's 03Chaz on Instagram. Hit that follow button. I've only been on Instagram for so long, so, you know, got me some back, and hit that follow button. Also, hit the subscribe button at the end of this video, and hit the like as well. Also, if you're on Twitter, you can follow me on that as well. Now, obviously, I can't really end this video without showing you a little bit of footage of the console itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip the camera around, show you from the other side, and show you a few new things, because I've added a few other bits and pieces. Let's have a look. Now, at first glance, you probably noticed that it hasn't really changed that much. That was where the camera was sitting. We have a button. Yep, that's new. I haven't wired it in yet. The reason being, since Macklin was closing down, I would, buy a few things. So I bought a button. We've also got these buttons here as well, which are very nice. These two are tactile. This is momentary. Some spaces for some new controls here. These buttons will be wired into this lovely 6-volt piezo. I've also bought two of these 2-channel momentary rocker switches, which look very nice indeed. These will be probably going on the helms. Anyway, I have got some really good plans for the future on this channel, but we'll see. Either way, there's a little shout out to Trash Canale, who recently sent me a comment saying, you know, you like the video as well. Thank you very much for that. It was very nice of you. Anyway, also coming up, we have a little closer look at a prop I was given for my birthday from Sam, and I'm going to do a little video on that. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You'll have to look on Instagram for that. Either way, I've been Chaz. Please hit the subscribe button. That's all I can say. And happy time travelling.